Hi, welcome back to our Deckers demonstration. We're in the gold cycle, so this will be the final cycle against Alpha Moby. We'll start with the intel phase. And what we got? We have our goal is to remove the Hackman, and our avatar must end on their entry space. Okay, let's follow setup first. So we stack one Guardian on top of a yellow installation, and it says make it a white Guardian. So we've not seen white Guardians before. And the thing about white Guardians is your avatar cannot enter their space. Okay, this makes things interesting. We'll take both from supply. This is our Hackman, and we have to set it aside for now. During the start of turn step, the Hackman is relocated directly to the active Decker's space. Right, this is going to cause us some trouble. And you're going to learn from this that you do not want to end your turn in a space where the Hackman's about to appear. So we should have looked ahead a little bit, really. So let this be a lesson to you. So start of turn, we've got two effects firing off. We've got Alpha Moby placing a spark, and we've got the Hackman relocating directly to the active Decker's space. So this is going to cause us some trouble. You can do these start of turn effects in any order you wish. So let's do Alpha Moby's start of turn first. Then the Hackman. So the Hackman is, I'll put him like this. I'm just going to relabel it so you know. Job done. Okay. So he's come into our space. Now it tells us that the Hackman and all Guardians act as if they are white Guardians. Okay, now a white Guardian, when it empties your space, it's going to kick you out and everything on that space. We're going to lose all of our programs. Okay, so let this be a lesson to you. When you finish silver and you're about to head into Hackman territory, make sure you move somewhere. Now, what about our avatar? Where does it go? It gets relocated to a random space. Let's see where we get pushed to. Blue 5. Okay, so our job is to remove the Hackman. Now, this is going to be a problem because the Hackman's going to keep moving to our space, and every time it dumps in our space, it's going to remove whatever is in our space. The only way we can get rid of the Hackman is to use some of our commands and use our ghost. Our ghost is not relocated by Hackman. Okay, all right, so this is going to be some fun and games. Now let's see. New sparks, let's place 1. Gold, we're just placing 1 still on purple 1. So we've got 1 coming in here. Interesting. What cards do we have? Wherever I get to, I've got to be able to run back here. And the Hackman could push me all the way over here for all I know. And this is where Nidam's ship would have been really helpful. And something like read request intercept means I can then save some blue for the end of my turn. So let's take request intercept. This is going to be really helpful. I'm taking this. I want to put lots of blue on the bottom of my deck so that in my final turn I can skip over here. All right, so let's see, what does read request intercept do? Put this card plus up to 2 others. So I'm going to put Hologate on the bottom of my command deck, and I might just pop duality on there as well. Okay, so let's put them bottom of a deck, and then it says, in case you missed it, then draw the same amount for your deck. So it's going to be 3 cards from the top of my deck. Right, so I've now got a stack of blue, and I've got a way of getting back to my access point, my entry space rather, when we get to the final turn. Brilliant. Okay. All right, so now I've got copycats and D9 reboots. So again, I could have used this. So in the final turn, if I magnetic pulse a blue installation to my space, a blue one lets me move for one blue command anywhere on the network. So magnetic pulse, I could have pulled this and then skipped to my access point. So that would have been useful on its own. There's always lots of ways of doing stuff. You can also just use lots of blue. Let's go with DNI reboot first. Let's reboot this. I'm going to get rid of all of these. Refill. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's get rid of focus. Grab Ginger Cool. Ginger Cool is going to help me change one rolled die to any face of our choice during the spawn step. That could be useful if we hold on to it for next turn. So I've got a ton of green and purple now. This is proper Monty type hand. Okay, I'm going to use magnetic pulse and shift 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to use DNI reboot to move over here. Then I'm going to install. Put a neural hub down. Sorry, a green installation. I'm using renegade terms. I can't help myself. I'm going to put a green installation down here. Now I need to move away because the Hackman's going to come over here and kill that. I'm just going to move away. And I'm going to move here. And I keep hold of copycat. Yep. Okay. Let's draw 5 cards. 1, 2. This is going to be tough. 3, 4, because of my lack of planning at the end of silver. Okay, I've had to use another turn to do this, which I didn't really want to do. Alright, let's spark our petition first. We'll do Alpha Moby's thing, then we'll move the Hackman, which is going to remove these 2. So you can be smart with this. You can be smart. Then I get relocated. Let's see where I go. Green 4 was really helpful. Really helpful. Okay, now we can do our actions, and we might be able to kill this straight away. Let's see. Because I have reset spark. On your space, either remove all sparks or replace one guardian with a spark of the same color. So let's just check. Yeah, remove the Hackman like you would remove a guardian. So I can just reset spark it now. Unfortunately, I don't have a green on my space, so I can't use Monty's ability. So I might just use Neural Splash. I think we'll just go ahead and get rid of the Hackman while we can. So I'm going to use Neural Splash for its blue command. Move here. Well, I could upload a green. That's one other option. Yeah, why don't I do that just for the sake of showing you how it works. Alright, let's do that. I'm going to be cheeky. So I'm going to use Neural Splash for its green and Focus for its green. So that's 3 green commands. And we're going to upload a green program. Now that I'm on a space with a green program, I can use Monty's ability. When your avatar is on a space with a green token, you can ghost your action to any space of any server if that server has a green installation, which it does, which means I can ghost my action now to any space here. So I'm going to take my next action and I'm going to take it as if my avatar were here. So you place your ghost, then take your action. So from here I'm going to play copycat to reveal reset spark, and reset spark says on your space either remove all sparks or replace one installation, a white installation with one white contaminant. This is where live wire voodoo might be useful. So we're going to, oops, I'm going to take a white spark, flip it over. Yes, it's a white spark, and we can remove the Hackman. Job done. Okay. Excellent. So we've completed the goal, and then at the end of the action, the ghost is removed. So that was copycat. And now, so what I could do now is shift twice. So again, I can ghost my action to here and shift. And the special rule with shift is you can move your ghost between each shift. So then I can move it. So I can shift twice. I can shift from here. I can shift from here. Done. So that's 2 shifts. Then I can use reset spark to remove all sparks from my space. So I can ghost my action to here and remove these. Job done. Okay. Yeah, so I might deception spike. So again, using Monty's ability, while we're on a space with a green token, which I am, I can ghost my action to any space on the entire network that has an installation. So I can ghost to this space here and use deception spark. Remove 1 spark from your space and replace it with a yellow. So I'm going to get rid of this. Yeah, easy. Okay, replace it with a yellow. And I'm going to save copycat one more time. Draw my 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Hackman's gone. We don't do the start of turn step, but Alpha Moby is going to do this. Then we roll for sparks. So just 1 in gold. We got yellow 1, which is here. And with their black ones, not white ones. White ones, if they do enter a space with a program, they will capture it, like so, rendering that program useless. But they'll only do 1. They only ever capture 1 program. If you delete that spark, it deletes the captured program with it. So yeah, white ones are a bit dangerous, but they're only put into play if you see white circles up here. So if a SMC spawns whites, or indeed if you get an explosion on a white guardian. Okay, so that one's not as black, that's not capturing. So all we need to do now to complete our goal is end this turn on our entry space. Make sure nothing blows up. It's kind of a shame that this is here actually. Oh no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Well, when I get to the end, I'll show you why I thought it might matter. But I think we've won. I think we've won. Yeah, so we've got our hologate. We're just going to move down here. Job done. Right, our ghost comes off. We finished that action. All we need to do now is move. And that's it. So we'll use 1 blue. We'll come down here. Job done. The rest are discarded. We've reached the end. SMC will attack, so we do have some blacks. So this spark's going to delete this green program. This spark's going to delete this green program. That's it. We resolve our objective, which is rig the Hackman, end on our entry space, flip over. Nom nom nom. You led that thing around the network and took advantage like a pro. Congratulations. You have won. Are you playing in against an upgraded SMC? So there we go. That's the end of our game. Now, if we were playing against, let me just show you this because this is something new. This is 2.0. If we were playing against an upgraded SMC, then continue with the final gold. So this one says If we were playing Alpha Mobi 2.0, for example, two things. In gold cycles, all sparks placed are white. So these will be placed as white, not black. But also, when we build the objective deck, we add one random Mother's Ghost. Let me just show you these. There's 4 of them. So we would shuffle this, grab one, flip it over. We would now be playing one more gold cycle. And it would be this. And this is where something bad could potentially be happening on this partition. Let me just show you what would happen if we were playing 2.0. So set up, place the Mother's Ghost token on the active decker's space. So this is the problem. Mother Ghost comes in here, and it says this token acts like a white guardian and can only be used removing the infect action. So what that would mean, this would get deleted, our avatar would get relocated, so in this case to our current server space number 5. So we wouldn't go very far. This is titanium, and it says for titanium the resistant value of Mother's Ghost is exactly 16. So this thing is like a guardian. Guardians normally have 4 resistance, but Mother's Ghost is going to be 16. But what this says is when we do an infect action, this is going to be like 16. So to defeat this thing is going to be really tough. But it does say every installation we have on this server acts as +4 to my infect value. So what that means, if I try to infect this thing now, let me just show you. Well, we could just play it out, I suppose. We could play it out. But we've lost our installation. I probably would have moved. I probably would have built this somewhere else if we were playing against titanium. But what would happen is I would draw 5 cards. Let's say I did an infect action. I'm not going to play it out. I'm just going to show you what infect action looks like. Well, first off, I need to get my ghost in here. So that would be like the first couple of turns, probably building this. Then, when it comes to an infect action, because 3 commands are wild, so how many reds do I have? Let's say I had this. I need to move in here with I need to move my ghost in with at least 1 red program. So I could upload a red, shift it in here, then using this green installation, I can act as if my avatar is here and then do an infect action. I need at least 1 red program to do an infect. I mean, if I got 3 in here, let's just assume I'd managed to get 3 in here. Remember, 3 is the maximum you can have on a space. Then for an infect action, you count all of your red plus all of your red commands, and then you add the die roll. Mother's Ghost is going to be 16 plus the die roll. But Titanium said to us, every installation on the same, so I'm reading here, every installation on the same server as Mother's Ghost grants an additional +4 to your infect value. So this blue installation here is giving me a +4. This is giving me a +4. Okay, so I've got +8. So I've got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And 3 commands is wild. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's 2 more. That's 18. So at the moment it's 18 versus 16 plus the die roll. So if I rolled these, I'd have 18, 19, 20. And they'd have 16, 19. So it'd be 19 versus 20. I would manage to get rid of Mother's Ghost. So that would be my final turn. With read request intercept, I'd probably stick this, this, and this on the bottom of my deck. I'm trying to get red, aren't I? And I'm trying to get green. Yeah, maybe I'd have kept green. Maybe I'd have stuck those 2 on the bottom. I mean, I'd have to try and get a lot of red. This is helping me, Livewire Voodoo. But bear in mind, Alpha's going to be sparking this. It might have taken me the whole 3 turns to do this. but it does have an early termination goal. So if I had completed it early, then I could just stop after turns 1, 2, and 3, flip this over, and then I get some story associated with my success. So an extra gold, an extra. Maybe I'll do this in the next playthrough. Maybe I'll do this intentionally. Maybe I'll play a 2.0 and we'll play something a little bit harder, and we'll play through this again. Maybe we'll play like Viking 2.0 or maybe one of the new ones. Maybe one of the new ones. So we have Glom, we have Viking, Logie, and Sentinel. Yeah, maybe Logie or Sentinel. Sentinel 2.0 would be really tough. Maybe I could play Logie 2.0 and show you how, because that's quite nice. He's placing white all the way through the game. And his mother. There you go. That was the game. We've got an easy victory. It's Alpha Moby after all. But hopefully you got a good introduction to the game. You learned how to play. Starting on a 1-star SMC is a great way to begin the game. Well, thanks for watching. Maybe I'll do a what's new in Deckers type video before I do the next playthrough. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know, one or the other. I'll either do a what's new type video or maybe a more advanced playthrough in the next video. But meanwhile, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.